right, everyone. Welcome back to the Alternative Millennial Podcast. This is Chris, your host, and I also have...
This is Eric.
And again, we keep saying he's coming, not coming back, and he keeps showing up in the parking lot. I did an Instagram live video, and here he is. Brian, welcome back.
Hi, hey guys, what's up?
He's had a lot of fun with us. We've had fun with him being here, so you'll probably see a lot more. Let me rephrase that. You'll probably hear a lot more of him.
See him eventually if we start branching out like we want to.
Yeah, well, on the Instagram live, if you guys watch that, he kind of looked like a homeless guy getting out of his car with his beard going on, but...
I am a homeless guy. I'm just kidding.
But anyway, welcome back. We are coming live from the DMG Dream Center in Clayton, North Carolina, sponsored by Divine Marketing Group, back in our studio for episode number 4. I'd like to thank everybody for the listens on the previous episode. Fantastic. You guys are pushing it along. 109 listens, I think, on SoundCloud. That's just on SoundCloud. So I haven't checked what Google's doing, but it doesn't matter because that's pretty good.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah. So that's the gun control episode. So obviously, I think that's going to have a little bit more boost because it's a bit more controversial when it comes to topics. Get on there and jump in. Listen to episode 3. Battle Royale was a good episode. I really enjoyed that one. I think. Yeah, I think Eric enjoyed it.
Wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk more about video games.
Oh,
Do another one.
I felt like that one. Honestly, I felt like the last podcast was more. And I told Chris this at our places, other places. Whatever. I'm not going to name drop or anything, but. I even mentioned that to Chris about how I felt it was just a continuation, or even to you, Eric, about how it was more of a continuation of the walk out, walk up.
Yeah, they're all kind of we knew it was going to be interrelated. When you start talking about gaming and you start talking about the violence as it relates to that, then yeah, it's going to be related for sure. We kind of had our first 2 full podcasts, aside from our introduction, was controversial topics, some topics maybe people want to talk about, don't want to talk about, right. Whatever it be. Today's a little bit different. I'm actually kind of excited about today's topic.
Me too.
Some people might find it kind of boring. I hope not. But in light of all the negativity out there, I think this is going to be, if you're having a bad day, this will definitely be the podcast to listen to. So,
it's a good podcast.
Yeah. So what we're doing today, Eric, I'll let you take it over, man, and kind of explain what we're doing and what today is going to be about.
So in light of all the negative happening in the world right now and the past 2 episodes focusing on that, we've decided to look at the brighter side of things and happy things that are going around the world. It may not happy, but good things that are pushing our society further in a positive way. So I'm excited to get into it. We got some good stuff.
Yeah, I think this is going to be kind of I wouldn't say a free-for-all, but we'll bring up the story, we'll talk about the story, and then...
It's going to be a little looser than the old...
Yeah. I'm not coming with, pages full of statistics, so I'm not going to be throwing any terms out there you may not know or boring statistics, but we do have some pretty cool topics. Brian came completely unprepared, so...
Well, somebody did fact speak their outline for this. I didn't even know I'm supposed to be here.
I'm just throwing Brian on the bus.
Did I say facts? Jesus, I am Gen X.
What is this facts?
Yes. Hey, kids, back in it now. Well, I asked Chris to send me an outline because his post was very vague that I saw for the upcoming, and I kind of knew which direction he was going in, but he didn't really give me a heads up, and I actually prefer it that way. I like being unprepared. We were just talking about this. I like waiting until last minute to study for a test and then just going on reaction of what I kind of know as common sense. So that's where I'll be coming from today.
Hey, Eric and I are content creators. I knew this, man. I set you up for this. I know you're the best when it comes to reacting to things.
I feel like you're doing this on purpose. Completely.
Well, no way.
You do have a way. You kind of plan ahead and you kind of use everybody's strengths. Oh, God, I did it again!
You guys can't see Brian's so focused. He's like banging on the table. So if you hear that knocking, you know what's going on.
I'll bring a pillow in for you.
Yeah, we're in a rubber room. I mean, we got padded walls in here, but no, seriously though, I like Brian's input. I like his honest approach and his honest input when we're talking about subjects. It's nice to get that reactionary approach from especially good change from somebody like me who likes to look at all the stats and actually think about stuff. But anyway, aside from that, we want to let you guys know Patreon. Our Patreon site is up. Eric, you know a little bit more about Patreon. You've had some more familiarity than what I've just kind of been diving and looking at it. So if you kind of explain that a little bit more.
Yep. So basically, guys, you just sign up, make an account, and you can support us. And you can do it in multiple tiers. You can give $1 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month. and I'm still hoping for a couple people to take that $3,000 tier, but I'm not holding my breath. But you get exclusive content with it, depending on what you're going for. If you donate $1, you'll get some post and pre-production stuff that we record that doesn't go live on SoundCloud. If you do $5, I'm going to start a weekly vlog on my trip up here, since it takes 45 minutes for me to get here. I have a lot of time to just talk at you guys. So you'll be able to see that. And then at $10 tier, you're going to get the first of all of that stuff, plus some new stuff we're going to be working on. Me and Chris talked about doing a possible video series of trying to find a beer that he actually likes.
Yeah.
So I'll post that up there. You'll at least get that early. I would like to put it on YouTube at a later date to not totally isolate it, but you'll be able to stay in touch with us first and foremost while supporting us. And if we hit a tier where we can do this full time, you're going to get even more content and better content.
Yeah, and that's the goal here. And I think Eric would agree. We're not looking to drive Maseratis on your guys' dollar. We're just looking to do this full time and have fun doing it while also doing it for a good reason. And that's the whole goal with Alternative Millennial, is to create that bridge where we can have conversation, have some topics off site where I'd like to actually do some maybe like public interviews, stuff in like public places, and just get the conversation, get our name out there, get the conversation out there. I enjoy doing that kind of stuff.
I like live stuff, especially if we can do just on locations, just people there.
Absolutely. And it costs money, guys, to do all this. The studio time, the editing costs all of our times. So when you're talking about putting all this stuff together, even though we are amateurs, this stuff does cost money. So we just want to keep producing good content for you guys. Brian, I saw you itching. You have something to say. What's up?
I think the moment's lost, but I was going to break it. If there are any rich widows who would like to be in that $3,000 tier, preferably women.
So you're okay if?
So we're pimping out Brian.
Oh man, no, we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah. As always, guys, we are at ampodcast1@gmail.com. That's the first time I got that right. We're also on Instagram, same thing, ampodcast1. Facebook, same thing. And Twitter, we are ampodcast18. I'm still searching for that person with the ampodcast1. We're going to get it.
We're going to get it.
We're going to get it, for sure.
You can also find us at alternativemillennial.com, which just links to our Facebook page for now, but we'll have a website soon.
Yeah, Eric's actually. That was a picture of Eric's computer working on that code. I think he's doing more. I think he's more getting drunk than working on code. But
I mean, it's hand in hand. You can't do one without the other.
So yeah, it's going to be. If you find any glitches in our website when it first comes up, it's we can attribute that to the
Easter eggs. Don't worry.
Don't you find it? There's that tipping point when you're drinking and still doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I go over that point and I come up with something amazing.
Okay. For me, I just start eating SpaghettiOs and pass out after playing Minecraft.
After you fax something to me. Yeah, guys, we have some cool content that's going to go on there before and after shows. So I think we're going to go ahead and get started with our today's topic. I want to jump into it because it's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about it. I'll let you introduce the topic if you'd like, sir.
Well, I want to stick in the medical field because that's what two of mine are, and I think we need some good pushes there. But I got two articles here. The one is from Stanford. They've actually worked on a new injection that has clinical trials in mice has reduced cancer cells in them by 97% without any use of radiation. So there's no chemotherapy involved at all, and they're about to move into human trials here in the next couple of months.
I think I heard about that on the news the other morning.
That's incredible.
That's unbelievable.
Reading through all this, I don't understand a lot of these big words because I'm not medical savvy by any means, but...
That's pronounced the.
I got you. But no, they're making huge strides in something like that 10 years ago it was a death sentence. You had cancer,
It's still,
Yes, but we're making strides.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's process being made.
That's pretty cool. Does it say what exactly it is? Like this substance that they're injecting? No.
Big words.
Gotcha.
It's like I said.
So it's like a vaccine, though.
Yes.
Okay.
It's an injection. They use 2 rounds of injections during this instead of doing the chemotherapy.
And it attacks the cancer cells.
Yes, it goes right in and attacks them, and they saw a decrease in 97%.
That's crazy. Any type of cancer? Or?
It didn't specify.
Okay.
I don't know. This isn't a huge breakdown of every individual thing. This was more of a kind of an overview.
Yeah, because I saw the general story on the news the other morning. I didn't even think about to bring that up here. That's that's awesome news. So I can't imagine what the world would be like if you could inject vaccine and get rid of cancer. That would be how many people you would save, and man, that's crazy.
And we're gonna get to a point where we're not gonna die anymore.
Yeah, well, to leave the positivity part of this podcast, that's kind of terrifying too. So, I'm okay. You play my. You guys would be playing Minecraft, and Brian be eating SpaghettiOs. He'd buy stock in SpaghettiOs.
That's not all I do. No. That's great. Actually, that is great. I was actually, because I was watching Fox News earlier this morning. How dare I? I switch back and forth between CNN and Fox News, but just particularly this morning on Fox News, they were talking about California passing a bill now, or a warning label on all coffees that they cause cancer, because certain brewing processes do cause cancer. Have been known to certain chemicals have been known to cause cancer. But you, Chris, know, and you, Eric, know that every time we get a box from California at our job says, California has said this is probably been known to, cause cancer. So according to California, just about everything causes cancer.
Those folding chairs have that warning sticker on them.
Oh my God, folding chair?
Well, I think that brings up a good point, and it's kind of interesting to talk about what causes cancer. And I go back into the days when I was young and I was listening to my grandpa. Oh, eggs and bacon cause cancer. This causes cancer. So, I mean, if you think what cancer is, it's a mutation on a cellular level. Not to get here, I am taking technical. It's a mutation on the cellular level. So, if any chemical compound or any micro material can actually possibly cause cancer, depending on what it's attacking or what it's changing on on a cellular level. So I take that with a grain of salt when I say, oh, this could cause cancer, depending on the situation. So I know there's certain carcinogens in meat, like cooked meat, the black part that is actually there's links of that causing cancer.
That's
so
the best part.
Yeah.
I know. Unfortunately, I still eat it. I mean, I'm. Hopefully, by the time I'm 80, Eric's right, and they're gonna have a cure for all this stuff. But that's huge. That's actually a huge progress. And not just to change subjects on you, but I have another cool story that kind of goes along with the health, but also brings in technology. And this is actually
That leads into my next story.
yeah. Well, look at that, man. I'm pretty good at this. So this is actually local here in North Carolina, Randolph County. Randolph County Sheriff's Office launched a small remote-controlled device, which was a drone, with a camera on it, because they were doing a search for, I think it just says an elderly woman who suffered from dementia, and after multiple searches, they couldn't find her. So hours of searching, they couldn't find her. And the terrain was a little bit more difficult to navigate, so they actually used a drone, and they actually located the lady.
That's awesome.
So
you never hear about that.
yeah, and it was kind of cool. I came across, I'm like, man, why don't you hear about stuff like that on the news? Maybe they did locally. I don't know. But that kind of thing, I mean, it was a 40-acre field that she was found in, and it was quite a ways away from her home. And she was wandering in the field, and she had no idea what was going on. So without the technology of a drone, and we could, another topic, another podcast, we get into the controversy of drones, but
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
it would be a good one. The controversy, because there's a lot of controversy involving drones. However, I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, not today. We're going to keep this on the upbeat path, but I thought that was a pretty cool thing. I think the technology kind of crossing into helping them locate. It's still sad the lady has dementia. I mean, that's unfortunate, but anyway, I thought that was a pretty cool story that I wanted to throw out there. So.
Now
Well, she probably had dementia because she wasn't eating bacon and eggs. She wasn't eating steak. She wasn't getting fat into her brain. She was eating a low-fat, low-carb diet and whatever. She's a
Brian, this is why we bring you in here, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, she was actually in that field. She was in the middle. She was doing her own Minecraft. She was just looking for some trees to punch and start whacking some weeds down so she can build her own hut and start raising some pigs. I'm not making fun of that woman in no way. That's great that they found her, honestly. But I try to find humor in just about everything. So.
I figured it out, Eric. I know why we bring Brian in here.
Why is
To make
that?
us look better.
Yes.
I'm messing with you, man.
Yeah, I would. And speaking of which, where's the hate mail, people? Do I have to get really, 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 really Brian-like to get some hate?
No, you don't.
Get to Brian, then I gotta start flagging in. We lose viewers. It's not good.
You can edit it. I mean, this is not live.
I don't like editing. I want to keep this pure, true conversation.
Yeah, we do as little editing as possible. It brings up, I guess that's a positive thing to bring forward in the, and it's not because we're cheap or lazy. It's just, well, maybe it is because we're cheap and lazy, but
Not that lazy.
No, we seriously, we want you guys to hear the true us and the conversation we have. So thanks for bringing that up, Ryan. Appreciate it.
Look at that segue.
Thank you.
You're getting
He's
you're getting
good.
all of this.
Got to piece it together, man.
Yeah.
The Puzzle Master.
Yeah.
So
Puzzle Master. That was a movie, wasn't it?
I have no idea. You're
That
the
was
movie
Games
guy.
Master. I'm on a
Yeah.
tangent. I haven't slept much.
Copyright, new idea for a movie, Puzzle Master. Starring Brian Dennehy and Ryan Reynolds.
You go anywhere with
That's
this?
it.
That's it. Okay.
Brian Dennehy's still alive?
I have no idea. I'm not.
So what was the next one you wanted to talk about? Technology and
Nanobots.
I knew you were going to bring
I
up
love
nanobots.
nanobots.
I know you do.
Brian, you know what a nanobot is?
Is it really a thing? though?
Nanobot.
It is a thing.
That's a really, 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 really,
Oh,
really
okay.
small bot.
There you go.
Small robot.
You can fit about 50,000 of them across a piece of hair.
Right. Nano.
And they're using them to kill cancer cells.
So this is legitimate that they actually exist. I thought this was all like sci-fi.
No, I mean, it's not. You're not going to go to the Radio Shack and get some nanobots, but
Radio Shack doesn't exist, so you wouldn't be going there to get them anyway.
they're out. They're out.
Are they?
I don't know. I think they rebranded, or not rebranded, but they changed how they do things. I just know I can't get like legit electronic parts there anymore. But anyway, yeah, they're doing tests in the UK, and they were able to kill a cancer cell with nanobots in 60 seconds, like straight up gone, no trace of it.
That blows my mind.
It's incredible.
When you say nanobot, the only thing I think of though, like, what was the movie? There was a movie where there was nanobots and like ate through the metal and like they destroyed everything they touched.
G.I. Joe.
Yeah, there was G.I. Joe. You were right.
I
Yeah,
told you.
Cobra uses nanobots. Yeah, that's right. I remember
That's
that
what
now.
you were talking
That's
about.
what I was
Oh,
referring.
seriously.
And look, he made him think of it.
Yeah,
I can get inside his head too.
I never saw it.
that's terrifying. Oh, that's scary.
No, that's really fascinating and a wonderful scientific breakthrough. But the cynic in me is gonna.
You go back to Futurama, right?
I'm going back to for everything that can be used for good
Oh, it's
can also be used for evil. So, I'm banging on the table again. Jeez. I like the direction like our scientific and medical community is going, but in that same respect, I'm such a downer. I'm gonna stop.
No, you have a point.
No, but that's what I'm saying. For everything that can do something good, it can do something. It can be used for bad too. And like I said, getting into the hands of a terrorist organization,
Yeah.
the nanobots can do these micro assassins.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, especially if I don't even think it'd be as bad as what you say, micro assassin, but you could. Then you're talking about a whole different biochemical or bio warfare. What's the technical term I'm looking for?
I don't know, but it wouldn't be bio.
It wouldn't be bio. But you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
your gases, and now they have all these different bioweapons that they can use. They're just we just
Like a tech attack.
we just banded multiple Russian.
Oh yeah.
My goodness, I'm blanking today.
Embassies?
Yeah, no, the ambassadors.
Yeah.
Because they were caught using special Russian gas on a double agent in the UK. So I mean that's actually kind of
That's all gonna be a whole thing too.
yeah. That's a whole another issue. And then I think they Russia promised to take repercussions against all the countries.
Yeah, they said anybody attacks Russia, they're just gonna destroy the world. Anyway,
We went from positivity to destroy the world.
Speaking of, they launched their Satan missile today. Oh my God, my chair broke. I said Satan and it comes. Okay.
Oh goodness.
all right.
Oh man. Moving on.
You might have to edit.
We get the woo.
Oh, I wish I had video of that. Oh man, that was great.
Yeah, I wish you did. That was funny.
Alrighty, so we're moving on from nanobots. I told you guys this was going to be kind of a catch-all episode. This might be more our comedic relief than anything.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, because that's the last I got for like feel-good stories. I just got a cool music.
Well, here's a cool story. So there was a guy. I think there's a low-income village in rural countryside, in the village of Ayampathi in southern India. I don't know if
I know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know if I pronounced that right. But anyway, there's let's see what he did. He's a computer scientist at the University of Glasgow. And he created a team. They created a robot called Husky. and the robot actually carries carries water from village to village. It helps him. It's got a big thing on the back. It's got wheels, and it's GPS controlled, and it carries water from village to village to keep kids from carrying it on their back, and so it helps relocate all the fresh water to different different villages. So I thought it was kind of cool. It was a cool story to hear. It's also remote controlled, and it can carry large amounts of water across all the various terrains that they have to deal with. So just to give you a little bit more in detail, Husky was able to carry 3 20-liter jugs of water from the well back to the village, and it emitted a male-sounding synthetic voice to thank the villagers for the help and tell them where to put the water. It even reminded them to wash their hands before their next meal. And it was in a part for a scientific study on how the technology could help the villages, even if the technology didn't belong to the village. Right. And most of the research carried out to date on human-robot interactions are carried out in lab environments and urban settings. This was an actual setting out with people that it was helping. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. I was reading through it, and I was, this is the kind of stories you overlook. Like, you see, that doesn't look it's a jug of water in the back of a cart. It doesn't look.
That's a 5-second clip before a commercial break on any network.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Your side of news.
Yeah. The last 5 seconds before they go to the next hour of.
Today, 50 people were murdered, and the world's going to end. Oh, by the way,
there's a cat on a Roomba.
Yeah.
There's something in your pantry that can kill you.
Tune in in 4 hours.
Yeah.
I don't miss TV at all.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. It kind of goes into talking how technology can help change, different parts. Because if you have the luxury of listening to this podcast, and it's kind of a humbling moment. If you have the luxury right now to listen to this podcast on SoundCloud, on Google Play, us sitting in front of it recording, we got phones, we got laptops. I mean, I don't think you really appreciate the situation that some of these people are in. We're in the fraction, we're in the small minority of people who have the luxury to do this, to create this content, to cover these stories, to bring this to multiple people. I mean, we're taking our voices and projecting them into a machine, and then everybody out there is listening to what we have to say. People around the world, a huge majority of them don't have that opportunity. So it's kind of cool when you put it into perspective. It's kind of cool to see people doing stuff like this for these villagers and helping them, kind of using technology to move other villages along, so to speak.
It's amazing what you can do with technology to help out people if you're not focused on what game you can play and what app you can run. I mean, a lot of people overlook that aspect.
How many Tinder dates you can get?
You swipe left, swipe right. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. And our phones along, the technology in our phone alone, was it maybe you can attest to this. The spaceship.
That was my Facebook post from
Was it?
Ago. It popped up on my feed today.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah. More technology in our phones than all of NASA did in 1960.
Yes, exactly.
They launched a ship into space.
They took a ship to the moon. Yeah. Now, all you people out there who don't believe we landed on the moon, we're not covering that right now. For argument's sake, let's say they landed on the moon. They had more tech. They got more.
We have to preface it.
We have to preface the fact that you might not agree. Oh, it was like, I'm going to take us off topic a little bit.
Do it up.
But I saw a post from the Flat Earth Society.
Oh, they're my favorites.
And
I know what you're talking about. That was floating around all of Facebook, all my friends. It was hilarious.
I don't get it. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it.
You know what post you're talking. I know what post you're talking about.
It's posted by BuzzFeed, and he was using Play-Doh to put around like a lazy Susan. He said he filled up with water. He said this is how it works, and there's an ice shelf. And I felt like he was mocking them. But on the other hand, he's like, "Well, we never went to the moon," and then he started getting serious. And I'm like, "Dude, wait a minute, you're not kidding." Like they think the Antarctica is surrounding the outside of the world, and gravity doesn't exist. That apparently we're in constant motion going up, which is why we stick to the. Dude,
that makes sense. I like it. Okay.
Well,
I can get behind
think about the infinity of space. That is. If you want to get extreme, you can say that is kind of possible, but if you've seen any kind of Hubble telescope, any kind of,
Well, they're saying you can't believe anything from NASA. And then they said, Elon Musk said he was going to get proof that the world is round once on his SpaceX Odysseys. They also said that they can't believe anything Elon Musk says because so anybody who's bringing proof, they're saying, oh, you can't trust him. So it's just
explain to me.
There's that one flat earther who's pretty much building a rocket right now.
He did.
Did he do it?
He did. He was successful in going up, but he got taken away in an ambulance when he landed. It wasn't very successful landing. I mean, he wasn't seriously injured, but I mean,
That rocket looked like the rocket that Kim Jong. What was it from America? South Park movie, Team America, whatever.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
joke. What's that?
Kim Jong-il.
Kim Jong-il, that rocket he jumped into after he turned into a cockroach. That's exactly what that rocket looked like to me.
You know, we laugh about it. I will say one thing. I'm not giving the guy any kudos, but it is really cool to see people try to take space exploration into the private sector.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's pretty cool.
SpaceX has been awesome.
Yeah, SpaceX is something I think you really got. Elon Musk, he's actually one of my favorites. He's worlds beyond anybody so far, I think, personally.
God, yes.
So I mean, it's just it's unbelievable to think what he's created and what the Tesla alone, it blows its competition out of the water.
I mean, you look at a lot of the current, big, I don't want to say inventors, but like the scientific community, the big names, they're not really doing much. They're making a lot of theories.
Yeah, but a lot of your current inventions are a collection of scientific evidence over the years.
Right, but I'm saying you're getting guys like, Elon Musk who's going out and, you know what, I'm going to do this. And it's just going to happen.
Yeah,
Make this to the
absolutely.
people. And
Absolutely.
You're just not seeing a ton of that right now,
Yeah.
which I'm a big fan of Elon.
I don't think you've seen that.
I use PayPal a lot.
We support him. I'll kind of do like a little semi break here. I'm going to go over something I found. I found this app called the Good News Network, and
Okay.
I'm giving them a shameless plug. We're not affiliated with them, but it was a pretty cool app.
But hey, if you guys want to give a shout out, yeah.
yeah. The creators of the Good News Network. Hey, let us know. We're giving you a free plug. No, anyway, this app was pretty cool. But today it says more good news on this date in history. It's nothing but positive news, and it's pretty cool. I came across the app. That's where I found a couple of these stories. Anyway, today Vincent van Gogh, the Dutch Impressionist artist, we all know. Well, I hope we all know who Vincent van Gogh is. If you're a millennial and you don't, you might want to study up on this. He was born in 1853. Today in 1853. Also, the 15th Amendment was passed in the U.S., guaranteeing the right to vote regardless of race. The negative side to that is it wouldn't be 50 more years until women were granted the same right. So, but
I was about to say, you said, I was slowly backing away from it. You said the negative part of that.
don't break that chair again.
Well, the chair is breaking me.
No. Nothing, absolutely nothing negative about that. It's just the fact that women didn't have the right to vote until 50 years later. So, which I think was way too long, but it's still progress, right? Albert Einstein announced his revised unified field theory in 1953. So that was pretty cool. No?
It's just weird to think about 1953.
Isn't it? It doesn't seem that long ago, but when you think in retrospect, in 2000, it was 17 years ago. Y2K was 17 years ago.
That was fun.
I wish
I was old enough to be a programmer at that time.
Is it bad that I was secretly hoping that like everything
Yes.
collapsed?
Yes, because I was secretly terrified that I wasn't going to be able to get online and play games anymore.
I don't care about civilization.
I love that.
I was 10. I wanted my video games.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I lived out in the middle of nowhere, so it wouldn't have affected me really at all.
I
So
was in Seoul, Korea during that downtown
Oh.
Seoul, like
Oh, they were
because they were the
Wow.
first because of the rotation of a round Earth. They were going to be one of the first to celebrate New Year. So if the world was going to end, I was going to see it probably about 20 hours before my parents.
this episode will be your first hate mail, and it's gonna be from a flat earther.
I hope so.
yes.
That would be
Please.
awesome. That would be amazing.
Because flat earthers have supporters all around the world.
Dude, their website said that.
I know.
It said we have.
That's what I was referring to earlier and then some guy posted something below to say, "Okay, say that again, but slowly."
Right. And so it said across their Facebook cover photo, it said the Flat Life, Flat Earth Society has supporters from all around the globe. I read that and I actually saw a picture of it. God, even if that was fake, that was
I think it is
hilarious.
fake. I think it is fake, and I think the Flat Earth Society is just I don't think it's a conspiracy, but I believe it's just somebody being contrarian just to be
It's a
contrarian.
viral marketing campaign. We're going to see the movie come out at the end of the year.
Yeah, probably. I mean, you do have a lot of these famous people jumping on board with it, but I mean,
These are the idiots that sit in school and see that flat, rectangular of the world and think that is true. Those are those people.
That flat rectangle over the world? Call it a map.
Yes, that is a map.
we're doing it all wrong, man. We need to. God, we got to create something now. I don't know what it's got to be. We'll get back to you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll create some kind of movement, and
It's spherical.
It's going to be
Tonal.
cocoon. Yeah.
Nautical?
I don't know. Canonical?
It's a symbol.
Doesn't matter. That's what we're going to call it. The canonical
It's a
theory.
made-up shape.
The canonical
Done.
theory. Yep, done.
I believe what Frank Reynolds says. That's like, we're just the hallucination of some sea turtle out in space.
Now that actually, there's philosophers behind that theory. There's philosophers out there that believe it. Like right now, let's say your house, your home, right? How do you know that exists? You're not physically there. It's not manifested until you perceive it. Everything we see and interact with is just a perception of what our brain. There's philosophers out there that believe that. So it sounds crazy, but when you think about it, you're like, wait.
When you think about it, it makes my head hurt.
It does, yeah. Well, that's like when I was a kid, I thought about space, and I'd close my eyes, and I envision myself flying through space and continue to go and go and go. There's no end. Think about there's no end.
Nothingness.
That's bizarre to think about.
My brain is about to explode.
At the end of the earth, there's like it's like a truck stop. You can see a parallel universe. Wave to yourself.
Okay, now he's talking Futurama.
Yeah. To add to that, one more thing. Since we talked about Vincent van Gogh, ironically, Vincent van Gogh's Sunflowers sold for a record $39.7 million on the anniversary of his 1853 birthday in 1987, and he only sold one single canvas during his lifetime.
That was live, yeah.
One painting. So he was apparently, from what I've read in certain biographies and stuff, he was apparently, people guess that he was embarrassed by some of his work. So
Really?
yeah,
Huh.
it's kind of crazy, but
Embarrassed about his work, not the whole ear chopping thing.
yeah, I don't know.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Oh, he was in love.
Yeah, it's crazy what you do for a woman.
right. And happy birthday to Eric Clapton.
Hey,
He's 73
Would you
today.
know my name
That was a mistake.
if I was a better lifeguard?
now we're gonna get copyright strike.
Nobody's gonna listen to us now. Brian, you're definitely gonna get some hate mail.
I hope for that. I was trying for that one. That was blatant.
Oh,
Well, Brian reminded me of a story. I don't even have notes for this one. I'm knock a lamp off. It's not good news yet, but it could possibly be leading towards good news that Kim Jong-un has decided to sit down and have talks about denuclearizing Korea.
I heard about that.
Unifying Korea. I don't know how far that's going to go, but the fact that they're even talking about it's something.
yeah, that's huge, and I'm so glad the two egotistical never mind, I won't keep going.
Yeah.
I'm glad Trump and Un stopped saber rattling and actually,
Actually, yeah, that's the only thing that I'm worried about is it's going to denuclearize Korea. You got to take all U.S. forces off there.
yeah,
That's a stretch, but hey, talk.
I'll
Yeah,
believe it when
yeah.
I see it. We've been talking about that since forever.
yeah, but nobody's ever accomplished that, so
That's true.
That's a huge
why
deal.
I will give that to Trump. Like, if he can bring that to fruition, then he will solidify himself as one of the greatest. Like, I voted for him, but I hate something saying that just makes me cringe a little bit.
Yeah, that's
Eric's cringing here.
it's a bit cringeworthy.
Not to get political, but do you think Kim Jong-un would have done that if Hillary Clinton was president? I want to throw that up there. If he would have sat down and been face to face with a woman. Do you know how subservient females are in Korean culture?
No, and that's a good point. They don't have a whole lot of rights, especially North Korea.
No, and I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's right.
But that's
I'm
also
just saying.
speculative, because you can't attribute the success all to Trump. I mean, Trump's got a hell of a background. And with what's his Mattis, General Mattis? That's it. What's his role? I forgot the name of his role. God, this is horrible.
Yeah, you're asking the wrong guy.
Anyway,
General Mattis, I believe.
Secretary of Defense.
Secretary of Defense.
Yeah, he's a bulldog, man.
Mattis.
Yeah, he's so. Also, we have to consider the fact that the United States has their DEFCON scale. DEFCON 1, I believe it is mutually assured destruction.
Yep.
Like, if you nuke us, we're taking everybody in the entire, God, we're talking about global destruction again in our positive podcast.
Fallout universe is gonna happen, baby.
Anyway, yeah. So, what's that?
The
Video
closest
games.
vault.
Oh, video games.
Yeah, if you see a company called Vault-Tec spring up out of nowhere, sign up. Sign up. But then again, think about it this way. Vault-Tec was actually a hidden experiment to see how people would react in certain situations. There was only one out of every 50 vaults that actually worked as planned. I'm sorry, that's my fault. That's my.
We should do a podcast in the fall.
Oh my God, we okay. Yes,
I'll get the game and we can do it. I'll play the game.
I like it.
But I wouldn't necessarily play the game though, as far as you got to watch all like the fan stuff that's on YouTube.
I'll figure it out.
Because that goes to the backstory and gives you like everything about why everything the way it was. I am a total Fallout nerd. Me and Eric can talk about that stuff at work all.
You know, I just got a new idea for a podcast. It can be all imaginative. Everything is in the future. We talk about everything speculation. What could happen if this happened? And
You're right. Infuriate so many people.
that's all right. That's all right.
Well, going back to what Eric said, I will believe it when I see it. That's like that is great.
Yeah, I
It
agree.
gives me hope for
I
the
agree.
future because he is a loose cannon. I'm tapping on the table again. Somebody bring me a pillow. But I believe it when I see it.
Yeah, I agree, and I do think I do have to disagree with one thing. I think it's speculative to say if Hillary Clinton could have accomplished the same thing. I mean, I get what you're saying.
And I'm not
It's just-
saying because she couldn't, because she lacks the ability to.
Right.
I'm saying a man dictator would not.
Well, I don't think
Honor
a
her.
true dictator is not really going to work with many people at all,
Right.
regardless. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying, where you're coming from. But
Boone is a bully. Trump can be a bully. The best thing against a bully is a bully. I hate to say that, but sometimes it's true. Sometimes it's somebody, flexing their
regardless,
muscles.
talks to denuclearize North Korea is always going to be good news. That's pretty cool. So that's definitely a good topic. That's a good story.
Thank you for reminding me, Brian, to bring that up. What we just talked about.
What did we just talk about?
Oh, Brian. So this one that I brought up, I tried finding a couple things that are local, a couple things that weren't local. This one's pretty cool because this happened in France and in Canada, and also, I'm sorry, Cape Town is popping up in the hearts of people of France, North Carolina, and Canada. So
Okay.
very diverse locations,
Yeah.
but also local, worldwide and local. So anyway, this the street store movement began in Cape Town. That's why I said Cape Town. They're giving free. There's like 15 items that they put on. They hang on fences or banisters in highly popular. High homeless populations, and then they put articles of clothing on these hangers, and then they can come and take a free article of clothing to help keep people warm, and people donate. So instead of donating to like a Goodwill, they do it on the street side, so it still looks presentable. It doesn't look
Right.
trashy. It doesn't look messy, and they've had a lot of success with it. And they actually were doing it in I believe it was Greensboro, North Carolina, and it's a pretty cool idea. I thought it was pretty neat.
It's definitely a good idea because you're seeing direct results as opposed to just donating to Goodwill and hoping it actually makes it to where they say it's going to go.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I shop at Goodwill. Not all the time, but I have gone in there for
some good finds there.
yeah.
Consignment shops are amazing.
Yeah.
You can find some great finds.
You go to a Goodwill in Apex, and you're going to find a nice suit jacket if you need one, and
That's where I got most of my vinyls from.
vinyls from Goodwill. I did not know that.
Should I buy my underwear from?
I'd stay
God, when you say buying vinyls, that reminds me of Slackers. They're not. They exist anymore?
Vinyls?
No, Slackers.
Slackers.
You ever heard of Slackers? They have a Slackers out here.
No idea what you're talking
Oh,
about.
okay. In St. Louis, they had in the mall. They had Slackers.
I've been here as long as you have.
Oh, okay. That's true. That's true. Good point. Anyway, Slackers was a cool. They bought used CDs and games, and you would have been in love. Movies, and they resold it all for a cheaper price. It was basically Goodwill for media, for games
Awesome
and
place
stuff.
like that up in Maine called Bull Moose and Newberry Comics. I miss them so much.
We've got a place. There was a place like that on Edwin McCabe Books and More, or something like that. It's off of Capitol Boulevard. It does that too.
Really?
Bought a Best of Doors and Pearl Jam's 10 for a very good price.
Such a good album.
Oh God, yes. That's why I just gravitated to that. But they do have stores like that around here. And
Really?
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. If you want to find something like for nostalgia purposes, and you don't want to pay Amazon, give Amazon your money, go there.
Amazon gets a lot of my
business.
Amazon gets a lot of my money, but this supporting local business, yeah, that's a big thing. I mean, especially with our company, what we do.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, and that, oddly enough, that's right into my next one.
man, we're just getting good at this.
I know. Like I said, it's not a feel good. It's just cool. But right now, for music sales, 65% of it made up from streaming. For the first time in years.
Really?
We're getting to the good part.
Okay.
Physical media outsold digital this year, 17% to 15%.
I saw
No
that.
way.
I saw that. The
Vinyl records
hipsters are winning.
Their sales are going way up.
Really?
Yeah.
The hipster movement is strong, but
Old technology is coming back.
Well, vinyl is just
I'm all
warm.
about that. I don't even listen to vinyl that much. I just like having the collection. My dad's got my record player in South Carolina.
There's just something about vinyl. There is warm. It's warm. It just sounds more in the moment than just downloading something.
I mean, you get a lot of kids who just can't stand it, but you get those pops and those clicks every once in a while. It adds authenticity to the music. I love it.
Listen to a Miles Davis jazz record on vinyl.
Yeah.
And be just completely taken away.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I mean, this is a bit more modern, but like bands like Cream on vinyl, where they had that original that fizzy guitar sound, and they brought up there's a technology they call it. I don't remember what they called it. Not technology, but the method they use. But you get that authentic sound from it. I don't know. It's pretty cool. I get what you're saying. I didn't think it would ever take back digital though.
I'm
That's
sure
crazy.
This will probably be a just one-time thing, but I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me to see vinyl records going up and up.
Do you think it's maybe because more artists are releasing vinyl?
I would say that's part of it.
Yeah.
A lot of people are seeing that little bit of movement, that actual demand for it, and are starting to go with it. I wouldn't be surprised to see it more common.
Is that what's happening, or are people just buying granddad
I'm seeing
and
a lot
mom
of
and dad's
new
old
albums
vinyl
coming
albums?
out.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
the Gorilla, the most recent one that I got was the Gorilla's new album, Humans. But on
I
vinyl,
was so
Huh, it was phenomenal.
not by that album. I was disappointed by the Gorillas in the beginning when they were running ads on TV. It was like, oh, that looks pretty cool, and I bought that CD, the white one, when they're the Goon Buggy.
2000.
And I listened to it. That was terrible.
2001 was awesome.
Terrible.
I have to concur with Eric. I thought it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, but you also like Slipknot. So.
Whoa. Easy.
Oh my God! It's a bunch of guys in masks banging on a trash can.
No, you were wrong.
I'm not saying he doesn't have an amazing voice. If you can hear his freaking voice over that, to me, it doesn't sound good. Give me Tool, give me Maynard James Keenan, give me Perfect Circle. I know that's not
Corey
Maynard James
Taylor
Keenan.
is an artist in the epitome of the word.
Give me Nirvana, give me Foo Fighters, give me
I like
Pearl
that too,
Jam.
Foo Fighters over.
Give me Billy Corgan's scraggly voice over Corey Taylor any day.
This is gonna go from positive to negative real quick.
And it is.
This really did kind of go off the rails.
I definitely would take Foo Fighters over Slipknot.
Yeah. Oh no.
you have to.
Dave Grohl's amazing.
Because you can understand what.
Yeah, I
Dave Grohl was
give you that.
saying.
I give you that. I wouldn't take it over
I wouldn't
Slipknot, but
say
I.
it for that reason.
Well, Dave Grohl is just one of the most talented people ever in the
absolutely.
history of the thing that ever was, ever be, and will be, ever. I said ever. On purpose, I was trying to prove a point.
Have you ever read the
He's-
biography of Corey Taylor?
Yeah. Oh, I can't get into that. Because that's just some painful memories, that song, Everlong.
Have you ever read Corey Taylor's biography?
Why would I ever read Corey?
Because it is
biography?
fantastic. Like, he is a hell of a writer when it comes to even apart from songwriting. Like, his writing in it's fantastic. He's a very emotional, moving person.
I get that, and I understand that, but it's just I saw a couple of their YouTube live shows, and it's just a bunch of people banging, and it's just a bunch of power chords to me. It just doesn't.
We're gonna have to
doesn't resonate. I'm not saying Corey Taylor's not talented. I'm just saying his vision, his songs don't resonate with me.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree on this one because I am
Exactly,
like a
yes.
huge.
Music podcast next week.
Yeah. We,
I like it.
yeah, we might have to actually do that because I'm a huge Corey Taylor fan. I have been, maybe thanks to my mom telling me I couldn't listen to Slipknot when I was a kid, but I've listened to Slipknot. Like the Iowa album, I'll never forget how I felt when listening to the Iowa album. Like it was just fantastic.
It resonates with you. It resonates.
Yeah.
With you. It doesn't resonate with you.
The way he puts, yeah, you're not a millennial. Get out of
Back
here.
in my day, we were never gonna give you up and never gonna let you down.
Yeah, man, the way they put metal together, the hard guitar riffs, the just, it was so much noisy imperfection that was just laid out together that was just made perfection to me. I don't know. It was hard to get metal to sound like that is what I'm trying to say. There's only a few bands, in my opinion, through even the 70s, 80s, and 90s that could lay metal down and have it sound in that way. Dare I say, kind of like Kurt Cobain with Nirvana. there was a way he laid out the grunge style metal that just it sounded good, and that was hard to do. I mean, I think that was but then you're talking to somebody, I'm going to show my age when I say this, I think the 90s was probably one of the greatest generations of music.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think we had some fantastic music in the 90s.
All about it.
Yeah, well, those were my formative years.
Yeah.
Was that I was going to high school listening to Smashing Pumpkins, Green Day, Nirvana,
Yeah.
Pearl Jam.
Even
Bush. Oh my God,
Bush, yep. Bush is good.
Bush. Oh man, they had some great songs back in the early days.
Yep. And I even back to hip hop and rap. I'm not a fan of modern rap, but rap and hip hop back in the 90s and some of your older rap and hip hop, I'm not even a rap fan, and I enjoyed it.
Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style. I think I listened to that every single night, 10th grade. I would sing it in the middle of computer class, and I probably offended a lot of people, or I just looked like a creepy, weird guy. Just.
What grade was this?
This was 10th grade computer class at.
Oh, 10th grade. Okay, that's not.
But my brother got it during the summer break, and he was always into hip hop. I was always riding his coattails when it came to that, even though he was my younger brother. But after hearing that album, I was a big Snoop Dogg fan after Doggy Style. That was so many great songs on that. I could really sing them, but I probably
Somebody's gonna get to this segment in the episode and they're gonna be like, well, I thought these were millennials. What the hell is going on?
To be fair, I didn't start listening to 90s alternative until I was like high school.
Way to reel us back. Way to reel us back.
This really did turn into the music podcast. It
Yeah,
really did.
that's all right.
But it's positive. It's we're not debate. We're
Music can
just
be very positive.
we're just talking about what made us feel good.
Except you don't like Slipknot. I'm
Don't hold that against me.
Oh,
Chris.
I'm holding
sure
that
we
against
like
you.
a lot of stuff. I'm pretty sure there's something I like that you don't like.
change the subject. Another good one.
Hard cut.
Yeah, hard cut. No, this actually kind of relates coming back to millennials. So we always get a lot of bad. We talked about this in our first podcast. We get a lot of bad rap. So the millennials have a really bad. Even for me, I was walking through Costco last night and I said, "Hey, dear, look, it's millennial snacks." It was a bunch of Tide Pods in the front. So I thought it was hilarious. And yeah, sue me. I know that was bad, but it was funny in context.
That's hilarious. I would have loved to have been there.
Even the younger guy walking past me was obviously younger than I. He actually chuckled, so I don't find anything too bad about it. But
You left, buddy. That's your generation.
yeah. Anyway, this college students. There was a story. Let me find this here. I did not come as prepared. I don't even know where this took place. But anyway, a 23-year-old college student rushed in. He goes to Rutgers University of Camden. Ran into a burning building to save a 90-year-old man. The college student saw the house on fire. He heard voices, heard people screaming, knew there was somebody in there, and he didn't think twice. Ran in, and actually, as somebody called 911 as he was coming out, and the firefighters thanked him and said he was a good Samaritan. And also warned him probably not a good idea, but hey, that's their job. So it was pretty cool. It was seeing that and hearing that it gives you some good feel goods about
Absolutely.
the current generation. We always hear so much negative stuff.
We're all negative.
Yeah, well, it's like Brian's got a point. We kind of thrive on negativity. Like that's negatives always get more.
Embrace it and turn it into something
Well,
positive.
you're bombarded with it all your life. Every day. But that is wonderful that somebody who is a quote unquote millennial, the way that they get a bad rap, would run into a burning building. Like, I like to think I'm a brave person, but I might have to second guess that if I'd have to do that. Like, that would have to be a gut reaction for me. Like, I couldn't even think about that. I wouldn't be, what are the pros and cons of running into a burning building? No, that's just something you do to save another human's life.
It's so with no protective gear, because I was actually a volunteer firefighter from the age of 14. My 14th birthday, April 23rd. I don't remember the year. God, it's been so long ago. Anyway, not that long ago. But anyway.
That's a say.
Yeah, not that long ago. But anyway, my 14th birthday was, you could start running fire calls and you could start running calls with the fire department as a junior volunteer at the age of 14. So on my 14th birthday, I had my first fire call. And it was a car accident. And that's actually one of the reasons I've never drink and drive, just because the incident that I had to deal with there. I'll tell you the incident. I'll go on more about the actual fire that I was going to talk about. Anyway, a guy was driving down the street. He had his buddy in the passenger seat, and he had his, I think it was probably 10 or 11, if I remember right, in the back seat on the right-hand side. And he was going around a turn. It was raining really hard. He hydroplaned, and he went off. So he was on the right side of the road. He went off the left side of the road down an embankment. And when the car was sliding forward, it turned sideways, and he hit a telephone pole. And the telephone pole hit in the back door on the right-hand side where the kid was sleeping with his head laying against the car. And he hit the telephone pole there. So when I remember a vivid detail of remembering them bringing the Stokes basket up the hill and hitting the beer cans because his brother was drunk. He was 19 or 20 years old, and he was drinking with his buddy, and they were going to go fishing, and I guess they decided not to.
If only there was a law about not drinking when you're under 21, he could have been saved.
But anyway, they're playing lost, but yeah. Anyway,
I'm sorry, I was just making a point, but that is tragic.
Yeah. So we were pulling up I was helping with the Stokes basket, and I remember the entire side of his face. The kid was still alive somehow, and I'm not going to get into graphic, gory detail, but it will never leave my mind. The sound of that basket. Oh yeah, the sound of that metal basket hitting beer cans, tink 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 on the way up the hill, and the sound of his screams was just, it'll always stick with me. And every time I think about drinking and driving, that's what I thought about. So it was easy for me not to drink and drive when I grew up. But that was my first fire call I ever ran. And
happy 14th birthday to you.
Yeah. So you can see how tragic it was, but at the same time, it gave me the drive to want to help people in need. So that's why I stuck with it. And I was very, very passionate about it at a young age. I actually, when I was 16, I took the EMT course in Missouri, the state course. Passed the course, but I wasn't old enough to be state certified. So I actually passed my EMT course, but couldn't get state certified. Yeah. So, but that was there's some going back to the guy running into the burning building. I've been in a couple burning buildings with full protective gear on. There's something about running into a burning building with no protective gear. That's a whole level. That's a whole nother level. Definitely in a whole nother level. So that's kind of crazy. But kudos to that guy. That was pretty cool. I came across that story and I was like, man, maybe that's something we should start looking forward to, looking towards the positive stories of the millennial generation instead of, damning them just for eating Tide Pods. So
I think you go back to that, I think every generation does something stupid, but they also have these people in their generation that redeem that stupidity.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're the guy running into a burning building, and then you have David Hogg. Just saying. So.
Yeah.
David Hogg. No?
No.
You're not watching the news at all?
He's going to start a revolution. No, I'm not. He's going to start a revolution.
17-year-old that was in Parkland shooting, and he's demanding gun control. He's cussing politicians.
He's basically threatening. He's basically bragging that when he is eligible to vote, he is going to take away our rights. Oh my God.
Yeah, it started off. I don't agree with him, but it started off where, hey, I support the kid for getting involved with politics, right. And then they had this video. I don't even know who took the video. It was a YouTube video, and it showed him talking to just a small news source, and he ended up posting it, and he is just cussing this person out, cussing that person out, and I'm looking and going, really? Like, this is the way you want to handle it? It just goes against what we're trying to do, and that's where it really disturbed me. I'm like, wait a minute.
So how come he gets so many views?
Yeah.
Because it's fixed. This has been planned.
Oh, you're going to get into
bullshit. He is bragging that he's going to take people's rights away when he gets of age. It's bullshit. If you want to get me irate, look at that. This is too planned.
What have you done?
I said a wildfire,
I don't know anything about the guy, but he's just really, really prepared for all of this. It was like he was, okay, well, after this, dude, he is bragging that he is going to take away people's rights.
Oh, man.
This is like that point. Never mind, I'm not going to go that far because I will get some hate mail if I talk about him like that.
I think I found a nerve on that one, man.
Yeah, you did.
Man.
He's bragging about it.
Now I know how to make Brian mad. That's
Just wait until we turn 18. Things are going to change.
He's still going.
He's not going to stop. Hit stop recording. He's going to keep going.
I think his face is redder than this microphone. Oh, man. That was great. Anyway, you good, Brian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Don't follow the news. Had no idea that was what his name was.
Yeah, you just go on there. I mean, you could find it's everywhere.
Yeah, I choose to avoid it. It's driving me nuts lately. I don't
Yeah.
use Facebook anymore because of all this stuff.
Oh, it's all over Facebook. Yeah, from both sides. You see it.
Oh, yeah.
You see people on the right hating on the guy, then you see, people on the left, holding in high regards. And I did see something was funny. I'm going to get back to it's kind of circling back to our gun control episode, but
Of course it is.
I saw something on Facebook that was kind of funny. It said we used to march for our rights. Now we're marching to have our rights taken away.
Exactly.
So I had to keep Brian stirred up over there. So I had to throw that out
I
there.
wish you had been recorded because you didn't see when Eric was physically pushing me away from the microphone because I was getting pretty irate. You can see, he was taking a linebacker stance just a second ago. Just to
Make
back
sure,
me
yeah.
up. No, but you're right. They're protesting for their rights to be taken away. Take our rights. Take our rights. I'm gonna fall over this broken chair.
You're destroying this. We can't take this kid anyway. Now we're definitely not bringing him back. Like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is
I'm
it.
just going to start paying for these.
I will. I honestly, I would.
So, another news story. We definitely need to get off this topic.
Yes, we do. Go quick.
Run. Run.
Go ahead. I'm going to stop now.
So there was another one that I found. This is pretty cool. And there is new research, and now this might get controversial, but I'm not sure how you guys feel. A new research team used human embryonic stem cells to grow retinal cells in the human eye. So it's kind of engineered tissue.
Cool.
But anyway, the whole point of it was to treat vision issues and vision studies. So it actually was successful.
Awesome.
So people have regained vision from detrimental diseases and stuff by using these embryonic stem cells. Now, I know there's controversy around stem cell research, but they're talking the way they acquired these was completely legal, even after Bush enacted certain restrictions against embryonic stem cell research. So just keep that in mind if you're listening to this and you don't like the idea of stem cell research. Do a little bit more research on the topic to kind of understand how they get stem cells.
Good benefits coming from
Yeah, and
To quote Peter Griffin, why are we not funding this?
Exactly.
If y'all want to believe I'm some right-wing gun nut, I'm not. I'm totally in favor of
You're just a nut.
you're just a nut.
I'm just a nut. I go my own way. I'm a rebel daddy, a loner. I'm all in favor of that. Let's do whatever we can to help people who just are either dealt a shitty hand in life or something bad happens.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost, sorry to phrase it this way, an arm and a leg to get new eyes or something like that. But yes, I'm all in favor of stem cell research. Bring it on.
But, there's actually talk from, we talked a lot about embryonic stem cell research back in my psychology days in college, and there are new ways they're actually crafting stem cells from skin cells. Yeah, adult skin cells still have the now. So I don't know if you understand what a stem cell is. So a stem cell is a specific cell in the back of the brain. I've been so many years since I've been in psychology. I forget all the technical terms, but I'm not going to bore you. But it has at a young age, it can develop into muscle tissue, nerve tissue, or skin tissue. So it can go 3 different ways, and your DNA codes which way it's going to develop. So to collect it, though, the only way to get stem cell is either in a living human adult, which we have almost none because it's all developed, and you don't grow new nerves. You can gain muscle tissue that's different. That comes from a different type of protein, and your skin replenishes itself, which is why they found success with skin. So it's kind of weird. You'd have to understand the technology behind it, but I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it makes sense like that.
Yeah. So
You're essentially using stem cells to regrow damaged nerves or
Well,
whatnot.
yeah. Right.
So
right.
getting that same from skin cells kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and that's why I thought I don't know. It was big. It was controversial, and we actually, it was pretty cool because in the course biological psychology, our instructor actually had us talk about it, like the controversy behind stem cell research, not just stem cell research. She actually had us talk about our political beliefs and religious beliefs, and we had disagreements. And that was one of the best instructors I have. I forgot her name, but that was one of my favorite classes. It was biological psychology, one of the hardest courses in psychology. I sat right up front, and I loved every minute of it. It was really weird.
Yeah, teacher's pet.
Yeah, no, it wasn't really. She didn't really like me, but not many teachers liked me. I was very outspoken. So,
I couldn't see that.
yeah. Oh, dude, in class, if I had a question or I had something to say, boom, that hand went up, and they're like, "Oh, God, this guy again. So
Here we go.
I was like that in certain classes in college. In high school, middle school, I was very quiet. Or either I was disruptive when we were supposed to be quiet and got kicked out.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I got kicked out of my Spanish class, but I was like you, how you were in college. Especially if it was a subject I really loved. I was sitting up front, raising my hand, always asking questions.
yeah, I had
That version.
the instructor that I went to lab with, because I did a lab with an instructor, Dr. Kassad from the University of Missouri St. Louis, and she was awesome. She was one of my favorites. Obviously, we disagreed on some things politically, I'm sure, but aside from that, she remembered me from her class, and that's one of the reasons I got into the lab position I got. And I was talking to her, one of her TAs, and I was like, "Does she even know who I am?" He goes, "Oh yeah, she knows who you are." I'm like, "How does she know who I am?" And he's like, "She knows." I'm like, "You were very outspoken." I'm like, "Oh." Okay. So anyway, Dr. Kassad, if you listen to this, thank you. I had a great time in the lab. Yeah, I had a great time in the lab. It was it actually opened my eyes a lot. We did a lot of research on sexism in the workplace, and I unfortunately had to be the bad guy in a lot of our research studies, but it was pretty cool. So
White men got it hard.
yeah, but yeah, she does good work. She does valuable work. But anyway, to get on from that, it was pretty cool. But yeah, it was definitely the guy that was always known for speaking up in class. So, but anyway,
Yeah. Yeah, I was never that person. I was quiet. I didn't ask questions. I didn't want to do anything. Not that I didn't want to do anything. I just didn't want to get involved.
you want to play video games?
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about stem cells.
What do you mean you're still thinking about them?
Did they make other things bigger?
Oh God.
Moving on.
Oh God.
Why?
This was my fault this time.
Yeah, this is not on me.
Chris is telling this wonderful story, but I'm just thinking about stem cells, and I'm thinking, well,
No, Brian.
Nope, yep, you're done.
Doesn't work that way.
we all need an extra inch. That's all I'll say.
So you get any more stories, Chris?
You're talking about height, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm too short.
Okay. You are kind of short. No, I don't actually. That was
Good.
That's all I had. Now it's kind of off the cuff and just. You're
He's gonna fall again.
I keep forgetting which way this chair is broken.
gonna get us kicked out of here.
You signed a letter.
I didn't read it. Whoever reads the agreement before they accept it. Jesus.
I used to do sales, and there was a lawyer that came up to me. He goes, "Do I have to sign this?" I'm like, "Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know." He goes, "So if I don't sign it, you can't sell it to me." I'm like, "That's usually how this works." And he kind of looked at me and goes, "Okay, well, I guess I have to sign it." I'm confused. It
What are you
was.
trying to get from this?
It was an awkward and oh man, when I was in sales, I had all kinds of weird people. You know, we're gonna put a marker right here because this is kind of a segue off of our positive topics into just random topics.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, so this is kind of a free for all. I had a lady come in, and I'm not going to disclose names because I'm probably that could cause problems. I don't even remember her name, but regardless, she came in, and you had to sign up with a credit card. So you had to put a credit card on file. Then they charged your credit card on a monthly basis for the service, right? It was like $25 or $30 a month. I don't remember what it was, and. She asked me, she goes, so she got real close to me, and this was internet service. That's all it was. She got real close to me. She goes, do I have to use a credit card? I'm like, well, I have to have some sort of payment. So, well, can I come back each month and pay you cash? I'm like, no, it doesn't work this way. She goes, well, what do you need my name for? I'm sitting here kind of looking at the lady like, I'm not sure what you got going on. She's like, can I use a fake name? I'm like, I'm not sure. I told her, I said, ma'am, I'm not sure what you have going on, but
I don't want to be.
I told her, I really don't know if I want to take your information. She didn't buy it. She looked at me and she goes, yeah, that might be better for you, and walked away. And I'm like, done.
All right.
Done. Yeah, it was quite.
That's shady.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. So, but that was a weird. That's not as bad as my Uber stories. I had some pretty crazy Uber stories.
Sure. How long were you an Uber driver for?
For about a year as a personal trainer and an Uber driver at the same time. Anybody out there think personal trainers make a ton of money?
The good ones.
Yeah, you gotta be a personal trainer to this one.
You got to be salary though. Yeah, the good ones. You're right. They do. No, but like
Just busting your check.
no, I know, man. 20 hours. So I like you have clients. Let's say 20 hours a week. What you're getting, and I was paid $20 an hour, which sounds great. But all the time that goes into personal training, it's unbelievable. So, like, if you're paid hourly, you're paid for that 1 hour session, but you got to prepare for that session. You got to do workouts. You got to, look at the results after the workout. So that was
Yeah, about that life.
it was. I was making maybe $8.50, $10 an hour after all the time you put in. What you're making on the books was not near enough. So I did Uber on the side to help out with that too.
Gotcha.
When I was going through school. But Uber was, you guys are Uber or Lyft drivers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We were talking about this the other day. I got propositioned by two guys. I was leaving the Ritz-Carlton. I picked them up, and normal guys, I didn't think anything of it. And they're talking, they're having a good time. I'm playing good music, and they're like, "Hey, you want to come up and party with us?" I'm like, I'm good, man." I said, "I'm making money." And he's like, "No, seriously, you should come up and party with us. We got some beer." I'm like, "No, I'm good. I promise. I got to go make money." He's like, "Well, we can help you out with that. We can give you some money." And I'm like,
"Yeah."
What? I kind of look back, and I'm like, "What are you talking?" He goes, $1,500 right now. I'm like, what? No, like get out of my car, like go away. And it was I went home, and my wife will tell you this too. I told her about the situation. She chuckled and she goes, "You do realize that was $1,500, right?" Yeah. That was her response. I'm not even kidding.
You can take a shower. Just sit there with the bar soap, just racking back, just back and forth. She's like,
"That was $1,500." Oh, thanks, dear. I appreciate it. But
just with a big old. Spring bar, just scrubbing away like that.
The drunk. This is going to me just ranting about my Uber stories. This could have been a whole other podcast episode.
Yes, you come upstairs and party with us, yeah. Yes.
Oh no, everything was. That was a weird thing. It was ordinary. They talked, looked, dressed like just like you and I. Like, it was nothing. It was nothing weird until the end.
$1,500 off up front like that, you were not leaving that hotel room. So I think it's good that you didn't do that, regardless of how much money. That sounded very sketchy to me.
Doesn't matter the amount of money. It wouldn't happen anyway.
Yeah. Well, I know that, but even if you were tempted by the money, seeing how the world is, dude, I don't think you would have left that.
Eric's like, you could have still been funding this podcast.
We have our own studio right
now.
Yeah, but anyway, Uber was very interesting.
Very popular for all the wrong reasons.
Right? Yeah, there was some sketchy characters. The guy that almost killed his girlfriend. That was fun. She was obliterated drunk. She got in my car. She couldn't even make a sentence. Like everything, all the words were just tied together with different syllables, and nothing made sense. Nothing was coherent. And he wasn't far behind. And I was driving down the road, and I hear. I'm like, dude, if she throws up in my car, it's a $150 cleanup fee. He's like, what? I say, I got bags back there in the back seat for this reason. And he grabbed the bag. I just heard the bag rustle around, didn't think anything of it. And he's like, well, I think we need to pull over. And so this is maybe 30, 40 seconds later. I pull over, and I get out to open the door, and he's got the bag. I'm going to give you a visual because you guys are listening. Wrapped around her neck, and he's holding his hands around her neck to seal, like a grocery bag, around her head. So she doesn't throw up, and the bag is like in her mouth because she's trying to breathe. And I ripped the bag off, and she's like, she can't get. I was like, dude, you're gonna kill her. Oh, I didn't think about like, these guys. They were just so drunk.
Oh my god!
That's the alcohol. That's just
when you said that, I was expecting you to say he just like pushed her out of the car.
No, he literally almost killed her. Wow. Yeah, he literally almost killed her. And after that, I'm like, dude, you need to figure it out. Like, she needs to throw up. He's like, and then he had the cojones to sit there and ask me. He goes, hey, can you wait for me? I'm like, well, sure, I'll wait for you. He goes, but I mean, he's like off the clock. I don't want to pay it away. I'm like, you have a good night.
Don't work that way, buddy.
Yeah. Uber was very interesting. But anyway, we'll wrap this thing up without talking. I won't go too far about Uber, but
we'll pepper him into each episode. You can continue listening for Chris's wild adventures.
Taxi cab confessions. Yeah. So Brian might have some just on the other side.
I've got some more. He's had a couple. I got some stories from being asshole Brian back in the day.
I got nothing. My life is boring.
We'll make it interesting.
Brian does every time he comes in.
All you gotta do is hang out with Brian for like a week, and you're gonna have plenty of stories. Well, guys, I think this is gonna wrap it up for the episode. Before Brian tears down the studio, and I'm not sure what else. We don't
like Bobcat Goldthwait instead of David Letterman right here.
Yeah.
See, relevant reference.
I'm surprised you guys got that. I thought that was more of like my generation.
Oh, it definitely was.
I got my dad to thank for that.
Okay.
Anyway, thanks again for tuning in. If you guys are tuning in, we definitely appreciate it. Just to give you a little reminder, you guys can find us on Facebook, Twitter. Go follow us, like us. We want to get out there, get more relevant. If you guys didn't like this episode, let us know why. If you did like it, we kind of did a little bit different today. It was a little looser today. It was just kind of a casual conversation, which I actually enjoyed.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I had fun with it. So
Well, that's y'all's fault. Y'all didn't give me an outline, so I just off the cuff. But that's why I can get crazy.
and we figured out how to trigger Brian. You know.
Absolutely.
He's not even a snowflake. We still triggered him. So, yeah. So we want to thank you guys. Thank you for the continued support. Give that Patreon a visit. If you know, we don't have to support us, but
if you guys don't donate, just getting those likes gets us featured, gets more people to know about us.
yeah, absolutely.
Helps.
You know, share the heck out of everything. We really appreciate it, and we're gonna have new content coming soon. New bit we're gonna be doing is Will Chris Like It? And it's gonna be.
I'm so excited for that.
We're gonna hit up different breweries around the area, and they're gonna try to find a beer that I actually like. And I'll be honest.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Oh, we're definitely gonna do it.
Whether if I have to make it myself, we will do it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll drink that if you make it yourself.
You could buy a kit and makes pretty decent beer.
Maybe I'll try it, but don't guarantee I'll like it.
Just get anything from
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. just give them anything from Wicked Weed. Give them an IPA from Wicked Weed.
Ooh, IPA. Oh God, no.
Oh, dude.
I'm not a fan of IPAs.
Oh my God. It's
the best.
Big Boss here in Raleigh. Blanco Diablo. It's a
Hey, I mean, I'm giving you guys an opportunity.
I think you
You
would like that.
We got this.
Okay.
We got this.
I'll give you an opportunity, and I'll tell you. I'll be honest if I like it or not. So we're going to start that soon. We don't have exact details on that, but that is going to come up. That's going to be
Soon.
Early features on that's going to be on Patreon. So if you guys are supporters of Patreon, we're going to deliver those episodes early. Our podcast, we're still going to keep them going on Saturday, I believe.
Yep.
So everything's going to stay the same. Again, Facebook, AM Podcast 1, and same for Instagram, ampodcast at gmail.com, ampodcast1 at gmail.com.
We came so close.
Almost had it for the second time in a row. You guys email us there. Brian wants some hate mail. Please give him some hate mail so he can actually have something worthwhile to rant about.
Even if you don't believe it, just try to just come at me. Come at me, y'all. Come at me.
Just send an email, and all you do is put David Hogg, and he's gonna lose it. So
And for the older widows that want to donate $3,000, we can work something out. So you know.
you got to stop soliciting on the.
No.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything that was illegal.
Be a pool boy or deliver a pizza.
Oh God.
With a pizza.
All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up, and we will have new content for you Saturday, and we're also going to be back in the studio next week.
Ooh, clown porn.
Oh, God.
End it now.
And my grandma is no longer listening to this. So, all right, guys. Thanks again, and we'll see you later.
Yes, sir.
Have a good one.